Nike Sweatshops boycott. Background information. Nike is known to be the leader in world's footwear industry. The company runs sweatshops that mostly located in China, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Nike's code of conduct states, "We are driven to do not only what is required, but what is expected of a leader. We expect our business partners to do the same." This is clearly not what is being done in the sweatshops that are owned by the Nike throughout Southeast Asia. Nike factory life. The monthly minimum wage factory workers should earn is $45 a month, but the workers in the Nike sweatshop in Indonesia receive $37 a month, which is below the minimum wage. They need to work overtime for 600 hours instead of the legal limit, which is 400 hours, in order to feed their family. Nike shoes sold in New Zealand, the United States, and the European countries cost 15 times more than it was produced by the sweatshop workers.
We lived in a 9x9 cement box. It was over 100 degrees, it's 100% humidity, a small window, certainly no air conditioning.
No furniture. You slept on a very thin mat on an uneven cement floor covered in shelf paper.
The streets outside of your home are lined by open sewers, and what that means, like in the rainy season, you would have all that feces just float up into the streets and into your house.
And every time that you go to the bathroom, it comes back out into the sewer for everybody else to see and smell.
You would have football-sized rats that would stampede over the ceiling at night and come up through the toilet and look for stuff to eat in the house. Or the fist-sized cockroaches that would crawl over you at night.
Treatment of workers. Workers in the Nike sweatshops in Indonesia face physical, verbal, and sexual abuse from their superiors. The working conditions were toxic, and there weren't any safety precautions with the use of machinery. The workers were forced to work overtime and paid below the minimum wage. Child labor was found in the sweatshop as well.
I'm walking down this dirt path into this village, and I see this massive pile of scrap shoe rubber that I later learned came from one of Nike's factories, and piles like that get dumped there all the time, and the end result of these piles is that they get burned in that village in the big open space where kids play, and the burning fumes, I learned from the company that designs Nike shoe rubber, will give off toxins and carcinogens. Kids are paying the price. And they're the ones with the chest infections, and they're the ones that are going to develop cancer.
This is a quote from a woman working in the sweatshop in Vietnam. "You have to meet the quota before you can go home." She hit all the 15 team leaders from the first one to the 15th. "The physical pain did not last long, but the pain I feel in my heart will never disappear." This quote shows how workers are treated by the supervisors and how they feel working in the sweatshops. Jim Keady versus Nike. Jim Keady. While a soccer coach at St. John's University, he was taking a theology course which led him to make a research on the Nike sweatshop issue. Apparently, the university had a deal with Nike for all athletes and coaches to wear Nike products. He protested privately at first, and then he went on public. Resigning in the year 1998, he went to Indonesia to live the life of factory workers in Indonesia. Because of the unfair treatment, he decided to continue and work to solve the problem there. He set up an organization called Educating for Justice in the year 2001.
How you doing? Hi. Keady. How are you? Hi. Good to see you. Nice to meet you finally. Yeah. Listen, I was hoping we could set up some time when we could talk. I'm really concerned about the workforce in Indonesia. You know, I spent the summer there living with them, and living on the wages that are paid to the factory workers.
You worried about that?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you call my secretary? Let's see what happens.
I did. I called Lisa last week. I called Beta. I called Dusty. I called Brad Feigl. I called
You're
Amanda.
gonna have to talk to somebody else. Maybe we're gonna talk to Dusty Kid.
But, I mean, you're the guy. The buck stops with you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't start with me though.
I know, but I mean, I don't know who else to talk to. I've
Talk
tried.
to Dusty Kid.
He doesn't want to talk to me.
Well, and I guess you're gonna get through then.
But you're the man. I mean,
Thank you.
you're the man that needs to.
I appreciate your concern, but I'm having lunch with a friend and
No,
we talk about it.
I apologize for interrupting
Sorry
you
about
much. I mean, I've come all the way from New Jersey to talk to you about this.
Well, I'm not talking to you.
I've gotten stonewalled at every turn. You know, the workers had asked of me that I try to bring you back to Indonesia to meet them in their homes, not in the office in Jakarta.
Do you understand? No. You just gotta know. I'm not gonna talk to you about it.
Phil Knight, the CEO of Nike, or Michael Jordan, or Tiger Woods, or Mia Hamm, or any of the other people that are really making a lot of money because of the way that Nike does things, should care about these workers because they're human beings.
If Nike used less than 1% of their advertising budget, wages could be doubled for all workers at their sweatshops in Indonesia. Many sweatshop workers were beaten and some were hospitalized. Nike CEO Philip Knight lies to the shareholders that only one worker was hit on the arm. Improvements. In 1998, there was a replacement of the less harmful petroleum-based chemical used in most Nike's factory. In 1999, there was a wage increase in Indonesia factories. And company also agreed to allow random factory inspections from the Fair Labor Association. To conclude, Jim Keady has pledged to make lives better for the Nike factory workers in Indonesia. There is a steady rate of his success for his hard work. He plans to grow his organization and soon help Nike factory workers in China, Vietnam, and India. Educating for Justice Simple. Thank you for your attention. This project is brought to you by Mai and Sidhu.